Welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. So,
The excitement level.
as always, I'm Nicholas. I'm joined here by our resident self-help guru, Jeremy Jordan.
Oh, why, yes. I didn't claim to be a self-help guru. They put the disclaimer right out there.
And as always, well, he's just here for fun, Justin.
Yeah, so I was like, what am I going to get? I'm just here because I got nowhere else to be.
Until 7:45 or
Until 7:30.
8:30. That's what it is.
So, we'll start off with some news that we'll see if this is just me being old or if this is just the wave of the future. Marvel has announced that as of right now, they have no intention of releasing physical media for any of their Disney Plus shows.
Mm.
So they will not be putting it on DVD, Blu-ray.
Will they be putting it on digital for like Voodoo and stuff like that?
They didn't. I did not see that, but yeah, they just said they would not. They as of right now they don't. I immediately was like, well, but how am I going to complete the collection? But then I was like, this is probably what makes me old. So,
Well,
Yeah. When's that VHS coming out of Loki?
I like physical media. It's kind of a shame that they're doing this, but I can understand why.
I've gotten away from the physical media in the last couple of years, last year and a half or so.
I have realized that I'm buying way fewer movies on DVD. I guess I should start saying Blu-ray, but like it's still like something like that. Like I just wanted physical copies of to have in my Marvel collection. So as a collector, I was like, I mean, I think I get it. I mean, it's going to be there on Disney Plus, and as long as it's there, like, why put it on Blu-ray? Because then you're just potentially canceling a subscription by somebody buying it for however much.
Right.
True.
But I didn't go this weekend because I had to work Saturday, and I just didn't feel like trying to figure out how to get there. But they actually had MightyCon this year, which was nice. At least the comic book convention up at what are they? I know they moved it over to the Wisconsin Product Pavilion at State Fair a couple years ago. Because Tony and I went a few years back. So, but I'm wondering the guys who have all the bootleg, like all the Disney DVDs, like Song of the South.
Oh yeah.
The other stuff. They're like, oh yeah, we got it on DVD. I'm like, they've never actually officially released that. How do you have it? Oh no, it's okay, all right. So I'm wondering.
Don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
Don't
look
worry
over
about
there.
it. I'm wondering if they'll have the WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Oh, you can be. I know we got it on DVD. They said they were never going to release it. Oh no, they did. It was a special just for us.
Limited edition. Charge double.
It's kind of crazy. Some of the people that do that they even make some really excellent looking covers for those too. It's like, holy shit, you should get a job for Disney.
They're like, wow, I thought they said they were never going to release that. Clearly they did. Like, this is some real professional. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
Are other streaming services going to do that, do you think? Like,
I don't know. I mean, or Netflix puts some of their stuff out on Blu-ray, because I mean that's all. I've seen Orange is the New Black like seasons for sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I think Handmaid's Tale too.
Yeah. So
I don't know
I
what
don't know.
streaming one that is though. Is that Netflix or is that
Hulu.
Hulu? Hulu.
Yeah, I've never watched it. I know
I
in the
haven't
room
either.
and I come in the room and it's being watched, but
Yeah. Mhm.
Looks boring.
And then it's like, oh, you want to watch this with me? And it's like, no, I don't.
you men.
Yeah.
I already know I'm an asshole. I don't need to see a thing about it.
Keep it up. That will become true. That well, since we were already talking about Netflix, did you see some of the Netflix announcements this week in regards to Jerry Seinfeld?
No.
Okay.
Lay it on
So
us.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Jerry Seinfeld is going to write, direct, produce, possibly act in a movie based off of the history of Pop-Tarts.
How interesting could that be?
Yeah.
Ah,
I don't know how many times I've been walking through the store and I'll walk past them and I'll be like, I wonder what the history of that Pop Tart is.
I don't know.
Especially brown sugar cinnamon. Favorite one.
That's your favorite?
It is.
S'mores all the way for me.
I'm going
Okay.
frosted strawberry.
All right. What do you think, listener?
I'm fucking hungry now. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, I got no snacks. Snack break? Snack break?
So, yeah, I don't know. I assume it will be a either fictionalized or highly the based on a true, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is based on a true story in so much as that none of it happened in Texas or with a chainsaw.
Yeah, exactly.
and there was no massacre.
Did they say anything about the plot? Or
I guess there was a couple of jokes or a couple lines that Seinfeld had in one of his last specials about Pop-Tarts. And so now they're just like, well, I mean, he's never directed a movie before. Let's let him direct this movie. So
interesting. I wonder if there's like some like fascinating thing that actually happened to make warrant it being made into a movie, or if it's like you said, they're just.
Did he buy stock in Pop Tart? Kellogg's make Pop Tarts.
I maybe. I know I made a note about it a long time ago, but I don't know if we ever talked about it. They're making that Hot Cheeto movie, right?
What? I don't know if we talked about this, but
Justin, have we ever talked about this one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm trying to look up the history of Pop Tarts.
I know I made a note about it, and I guess I must have just decided it wasn't worth it on whatever episode it was, and I skipped it. So Eva Longoria is going to direct a movie about the invention of hot Cheetos. The story has been that there was a janitor for Frito-Lay in somewhere in California who would make these Cheetos in his house, and he had a special blend of spices to make them hot. He would sell them, or the Latin community would sell them, because the regular Cheetos just are they're boring, and so they spiced them up and made them like kind of little made them cool.
Yeah.
Why do you gotta make all food spicy?
And then I guess Frito-Lay was just like, they went into the company and they were like, listen, we're desperate for ideas. If you work for us, come bring your idea, and if it hits, you'll get part of the profits. This guy showed up with hot Cheetos.
If it fails, you get fired.
No one will ever hear from you ever again.
We're not.
They left that part. That part was the really fine print on the poster.
Yeah.
But so the guy shows up with this idea, and because he had kind of made it himself, like they tested it and they changed the formula a little bit and then they brought it to market, and obviously is like one of their most successful products of all time. So the guy went from being a janitor to like moving up and moving up and moving up to eventually becoming the vice president of the company.
Wow.
So clearly there's some more to the story than just the guy was a janitor who had a good idea. Like he must have had some real business acumen or had, done something else somewhere.
All you need is a shot. Just one shot.
But I guess Frito is kind of pushing back on that story now and going, yeah, little to none of that story is true. Like is we've just never corrected it because we didn't care. But now that you guys are pushing forward and making a movie, we feel like we have to kind of step up and be like, yes, so about that.
All of that is a lie.
So are they? So they're not going to do the movie anymore?
I don't know. They don't. There was talks about what they were actually going to do about it, but
they'll get Michael Bay involved. There'll be some explosions. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
that's how they made the Flaming Hot One. A big explosion.
Some aliens came down, and
it should really just be about Chester Cheetah. He's like,
you know what? I'm surprised they've never made a Chester Cheetah movie.
Mm-hmm.
They make movies about everybody else.
Oh, breaking news! Hollywood just greenlit a Chester Cheetah movie.
I would like to say like trademark pop culture roulette, but I'm sure because we don't own Chester Cheetah, we can't trademark the idea of doing a Chester Cheetah movie.
I would say probably not.
Write up a script, send it in.
Yeah.
That's our idea. We said it first. Prove it.
It's all recorded.
Yeah. You got it still, right, Zoom? Oh, that's the one thing we didn't get. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
All those inappropriate jokes, we got those. That good idea.
Yeah. You guys will be going away for a long time, but no, the idea is gone.
But I guess the other thing that came out with the Pop-Tart news is that Seinfeld has signed an overall development deal with Netflix. So I guess part of the deal is going to go back and grab the 1 or 2 stand-up specials that he did. So that's going to be part of the deal moving forward. But the Pop-Tart movie and I guess some either more stand-up specials or I think technically this is the first movie that he's going to direct because I don't know if he directed the documentary that he made about 15 years ago called Comedian, because it was about him getting back on the road after Seinfeld ended and like getting his legs back underneath him.
Yeah.
I don't know if either one of you watched it. It's really interesting.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, but
yeah, if you can find it, I'd recommend. I mean, it's funny, but it's got basically a who's who of comedy from 15 to 20 years ago of just everybody talking about like how big the guy was before TV and now him trying to kind of get back out there and get back on the road. So
cool.
It's interesting, but so I don't know, I don't know if he's got, because I know he did B Movie a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
Or whenever that movie. I say a couple years ago, but that was probably that was over a decade ago. So. But so I don't know if it'll be more animated stuff or if he, I know he said he has no real interest in doing sitcoms anymore. So I don't know, if it'll just be stuff that he's producing or. But I guess Spielberg also has some Netflix deal where some Spielberg stuff will be going directly to Netflix.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, so Adam Sandler seems to have, like when I remember we must have been doing Point Squared when Adam Sandler did it. Yeah. Or right at the end of before it all died when Sandler signed up for the Netflix deal, because we all were like, wow, this is weird. Like, what is Adam Sandler's career coming to? Signing a exclusive deal or not a exclusive deal, but signing a deal with Netflix.
Yeah, that's just kind of was it like a 6-movie deal that he signed?
Something like that. But I know they've increased it since then because they've made so much money off of him. Because every time he puts a new movie on, even if it's bad, it's the highest watched thing for a couple of months. So
yeah, and then it gets plugged on this podcast, so it goes even higher.
Right. And
That's our
Everything's
highest
so-
rated episode.
Everything skyrockets once it gets talked about on air.
Absolutely, it does. We should start getting some percentage points of any movie that we pinned.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Someone get a hold of Sandler and we'll get that worked out.
Definitely.
But that I feel like that's a huge. So I mean, basically, it seems like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Peacock, like these streaming services are just lining up to just be like, let's just throw buku amounts of money at whoever we can to, because it just seems like some of the numbers that you hear, you're just like, how can you afford that? My subscription rate's going up, but it doesn't, and yet these movies
your subscription rate for Netflix?
I'm talking about. Well, yeah, I pay for Hulu, so and I do the bundle, so I got Hulu, ESPN, Disney Plus, just because I only gave you the password for Hulu.
That's how.
Oh, and I know one of you watched Knives Out?
Yes. I watched that when it came out.
Okay. Did you watch Knives Out yet, Jeremy?
No.
Okay. I guess they're doing 2 sequels and Netflix has them exclusively.
Knives In and Knives Out again. It's like a stabbing movie or something.
I don't know. It's just Knives Out. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They should call the second one Knives In.
Huh. Trademark pop culture roulette.
Can't have it now.
People are gonna owe us so many royalties for everything we've come up with today.
And since we're rolling on the net, apparently we're just gonna suck the Netflix dick today.
All right.
There is a Justin. There's a game show that we need to get Jeremy on.
Wipeout.
That could be fun too, because I'm definitely not doing it.
I'd do it.
I mowed the lawn today, and I'm like, well, I'm done moving for the day. So I doubt I'm getting on Wipeout anytime soon. But no, there's a new dating show that will be starting on Netflix called Sexy Beast.
All right. Nice.
Okay. But here's the catch of the dating show.
Okay.
They are going to put you in full body makeup, wearing some sort of crazy animal hybrid.
When you said that, my first thought went to it was going to be some kind of furry costume.
Yeah, me too. I was like, this is gonna be all fucking furries, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what my thought went.
The one picture. I mean, I saw some weird pictures, but the one that really stuck out as the weirdest is they made. And I didn't watch the trailer, so I don't know what the person sounds like. So I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but they put like a dolphin on their head. So all you can see is like the eyes and like the mouth, but like it's like wearing
so
the full
the masked singer, but now it's the masked dater.
No, I mean, well, I guess, but I mean, it's a lot more like if you were wearing like a full body makeup, like if you were doing Hellboy, like you were, they're gonna dress. So you don't know. You are going on a date with somebody or getting put in front of some people, and you don't know anything. You cannot, you only have like questions to ask. You don't know anything about the person other than what they tell you. So Jeremy, you in? Like you wanna?
I don't think so. I'm watching this trailer right now, and I don't think I could do this.
You just because you couldn't put the mask on, or because you
I wouldn't want to end up with any of the people that agreed to. Yeah, I wouldn't want to put the mask on, and I wouldn't want to be with anyone that agreed to this idea.
So you're that shallow that looks mean that okay, all right.
Looks are definitely a huge part of it.
Yeah, he likes
I
people,
am
not
that shallow.
Okay.
The furry community is not too happy about Netflix's new dating show, Sexy Beast.
The furry community, really?
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't like this.
You would think that'd be right up their alley. But,
yeah.
Also, it's kind of weird that headline never popped up. Granted, I also just was like flipping through news and I saw that and I was like, let's talk about it. It could make for some fun.
We can get like 10 minutes out of this.
This is so fucked up. I feel like this is like a drug trip.
Is one of them like a Satan looking person, or was that a different show that
Yeah, there was a Satan one. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then there's like some alien and a rabbit.
So
a panda.
is it you don't think like you could have put the mask on like it would be too like claustrophobic for you?
Oh no, it's not that. It's just like this just looks like a cringy thing. I don't know. It just doesn't. This is not something I would want to put myself. I don't like my face is awesome. I don't want to like
not hiding behind no mask.
To, like get to know me based on what's on the inside. It'll destroy everything that I'm working for. It'll destroy my brand. No, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I probably wouldn't do it.
No, that's a no for me.
Well, I wasn't asking you because you're not.
I wouldn't put Jeremy through that.
Oh, I would in a heartbeat. I would also get like I would either personally make it or get T-shirts made that we would make Jeremy wear for the show.
Awesome. I'll promote pop culture roulette every time.
Oh yeah.
You just wear like a costume that looks like the logo.
I just feel like, how do you take someone else serious if they're sitting across from you wearing like a fucking stupid dolphin head?
I don't know. You're sitting across from them wearing a stupid rabbit head. So.
I know, but like, I mean, this is just for fucking ridiculous. Are we so bereft of shit to like come up with?
Yes. Do you know how many streaming channels there are?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Justin hit the nail on the head with the Masked Singer thing. I mean, it's the Masked Singer. It's the voice.
Americans love people behind masks now.
Well, and this way we get to pretend like we aren't shallow because you're forced to learn who these people are without seeing them, and like you're supposed to fall in love with who they are, not what they look like.
Right.
That's the whole point behind The Voice. Like you only get to pick them based off of what they sound like, not what they look like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Masked Singer is that's a different thing altogether because it's celebrities singing in a mask. But I mean,
some musicians, mostly just celebrities
and Kermit the Frog, right?
Yeah, that's when I knew the show was done.
Don't you be bashing Kermit the Frog. He is my number one celebrity.
I mean, no, I agree. He's a great celebrity, but I would say, I don't know how they wouldn't know it wasn't him.
Yeah, I don't know. But, well, Netflix already has that one dating show. I heard Bob and Brian talking about it. I didn't watch it, but like, where
the Circle.
Is that what it's called? I know there's like a wall, and like you can't actually see, like they have all the men on one side of the wall and all the women on the other side, and they can only talk to each other.
I don't know. I know there's one called The Circle that Jason has talked about at work.
What's that one?
I don't know.
I'm trying to make a joke about a truck stop. Damn it!
It's I guess they're like all on screens, and some of them are catfishing them, and other ones are real people, and they got to like vote people off.
Interesting.
I should pay better attention to people.
Nah.
Why start? What? You've gone this long. Why start now? Love is Blind.
Is this another?
That's a Bo Burnham song.
No, hold on.
That's the name of the show that Justin's describing?
No, the one I'm talking about is
this is a different one altogether.
Oh.
Because it also
I blacked out
like,
for a second.
So it's not just me.
Love is Blind also happened right at the beginning of the pandemic, so like when Tiger King was really popular.
Oh, I just
And, like-
watched that finally.
Finally?
Yeah, this like past week, I finally watched the whole thing. Anyways,
What-
I'm sorry.
Okay, here we go.
Blind.
Love is Blind is a social experience where contestants of the opposite sex are put into separate pods and they date around for 10 days without seeing each other's faces. Contestants are allowed to propose to one another at any point during the 10 days, and if the feeling is reciprocated, they are able to meet in person. And after that, they are allowed to go on a lovely beach retreat and move in together. Blah, 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 blah.
After 10 days?
I guess if you don't propose is probably the wrong word, but like, because I'm sure at 10 days you're not like, will you marry me? I'm guessing it's like, do you accept me? Here's a road. I don't know, some cringy garbage.
Why are we always trying to overcome this like physical stuff now? Because we're supposed to be transcended.
Well, and here's the thing about
it's that
like,
instant gratification that everyone wants now.
I mean, I've never watched the show. I'm sure I saw like a picture or a clip of it, and then when Bob and Brian were talking about it, but you don't see a show full of like 10 dudes that look like me on the other side of 10 women that look like Cindy Crawford.
Right.
It's 10. It's 10 guys that look like Dave Navarro and 10 girls that look like I don't know. I just said Cindy Crawford, so I don't want to use her name again.
I know what you're saying, though. It's like it just so happens to work out that they're also attractive, so it's okay at the end, no matter what happens.
Right. So like you're going on the show, and so you're put against a woman who looks like a dolphin, but and you're like, oh, I like. We have some of the same interest. I'm digging on her. She's digging on me. Okay. When she takes that dolphin head off, she's still going to be, probably at least attractive. Like maybe not like cover of Vogue magazine, but like still like,
it's not like you can remove the mask now, lady.
Oh no, this is what I look like.
Fuck.
I really have a dolphin head. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. So that's the show they should make, though, where like it's just really, really it doesn't have to even be hideous people, but like normal looking people.
Yeah.
And then you see really what the reaction is. Let's just see how beautiful this emotional connection really is. When watches her reaction is like, oh,
normal people
immediately.
Well, see, this is the show that I would like to make. I would like to get like 10 Victoria's Secret models and put them on one side of the wall.
Okay.
And then 10 guys that look like me, and then see what actually happens. They're forced to talk to each other. They can't see each other, and then vice versa. Do the same thing.
Could the guys look like you actually talk to them? Because I've been in some places, like when I went to that convention for, what was it, RTX? That I went to that Rooster Teeth thing. We went to a bar out there, and a lot of the people, like when the waitresses would come by, would be like, can I order a water? Like they wouldn't even look at them.
Well, there's gonna be a wall between them, so it'll help.
You got to put up that wall.
We can worry about their social skills once the wall goes up later. That'll be a whole different show.
The wall comes down and they just freeze.
We might have to have a show first where, like, I, as king of the nerds, teach them how to act socially and interact with people on a normal level, and then we put them in this crazy situation where, hey, the person on the other side of the wall might be a Victoria's Secret model, or it might be, a normal human. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't know.
Right.
Talk to them. Be a person.
Yes.
So it's a 2-part reality series.
Right, yeah.
And then the third part is them in like therapy.
Once it all goes horribly.
You don't know what he did to me.
All right. Pop Culture Roulette Studios. We're making waves here.
Okay, well, I've got my AGT notes, but I only have one more note for pop culture news. So do you guys got anything? Did you actually encounter any pop culture this week that you might want to speak of?
I watched Spiral.
Ooh, is that any good?
It was pretty decent. It was directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, the guy who did the second one, the third one, and I think the fourth one. So it definitely had the Saw look to it. And Chris Rock was funny as hell in that movie. He was really good. He was able to, I mean, because he was just probably improvising some stuff and maybe writing some stuff on his own. The dialogue didn't sound like too phony ever at times. And one thing I'll say though is the ending twist was kind of like, oh come on, like you could see it coming a little bit, but I mean, it's the first one set the bar so damn high, it's gonna be always hard to recapture that feeling. So worth checking out.
All right.
As somebody who gave up on the Saw franchise like 2 or 3 movies ago, do I need to catch up, or can I just? Okay.
Nah, they're not connected really at all. But I mean, just the same universe, yeah.
All right. But it's not like, if I'm not like, oh, I didn't watch the last one, like,
No.
I know the Saw movies for a little while were like starting right where the other one was ending. So
Right. Yeah, this is just kind of like just years and years later, and they really, I mean, this isn't spoilers or anything. They acknowledge John Kramer's death. And I mean, that's just kind of about it as far as going backwards. So, yeah.
Because I did kind of want to see it mainly because Chris Rock is like, ooh, wow, they got him to show up. Okay. All right.
Yeah. That dude does not age.
No.
But
there's a saying that we're not allowed to say, but
I'm sure we can.
Well,
none of us are going to.
It's positive.
Yeah.
It is positive. But I don't want to make Jeremy have to do any more editing than he already does. So.
I appreciate that.
Just put up a beep.
So that's about all I really did this week as far as pop cultures goes. Because like I said, I finished Tiger King, and I'm so late to that. That's not worth even talking about.
Yeah, that's one of those, like, in our hiatus, like Tiger King would have been a lot of fun to talk about.
Yeah.
And the Jussie Smollett thing would have been a lot of fun to talk about.
Some of that probably we couldn't have because we would have got ourselves in trouble.
Yeah, so I mean, there's part of me that's like, I wish we had been recording, but at the same time, it's all episodes we would have had to been like, what are you talking about? They don't exist. Yes, I know that the 101 episodes existed, but now I do need to check out Stitcher though, because I updated our feed, or refreshed our feed, but a friend of mine, when I put that message up on Facebook about getting people to like or subscribe or follow whatever they do on whatever platform, he told me like, yeah, you guys haven't done an episode since like whatever of like this year, and I'm like, okay, some of those episodes are still out there. All right.
I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah, I wonder if he had tried to listen to them, if they would have actually been there, or they would have said, not found or something like that.
Yeah. Interesting. So, we'll have to scrub our past a little better. It always stays around somehow.
Well, yeah. I mean, and like we said, we'll always talk about it.
We will.
We just won't release it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. The only other thing I have is I do have Hero of the Week.
I have one this week too.
Okay, why don't you go first? Because I don't know where you're gonna go with yours, so I'm kind of curious.
Okay, so literally this happened like as we were recording last week. So like I stopped recording and then I read the story. Like it happened like either while we were recording or shortly before we started.
Okay.
So I don't understand how this happens, but so there's this little girl who is a massive Joey Votto fan. Joey Votto plays for the Cincinnati Reds. He, at this point, is probably been in the league for 10 years or more, Justin?
Probably more.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's closer to retirement. This little girl, like, he's probably been playing in the league longer than she's been alive. for whatever reason, she's a massive Joey Votto fan, and the Reds were in San Diego playing. So she's getting to see Joey Votto play live for the first time in her life. And in the first inning, the home plate umpire is just he's a terrible umpire. Starts arguing balls and strikes with Joey Votto, and Joey Votto gets kicked out of the game. So here's this little girl who, for the first, and she's got like a Joey Votto shirt, and like she's decked out. Her parents must have spent who knows how much money, because like she had really good seats like behind the visitor dugout. And like here her hero gets kicked out of the game in the first inning.
Oh man.
Now this is where Joey Votto becomes hero status. And
Yeah, he usually does some antics though, so it's good to see that he did something good.
This is where he steps up. Somehow the news got back to him that this little girl was there and is a massive fan and was just in tears. So he signs a ball that said, "Dear," whatever her name is, "sorry I'm an idiot and got kicked out of the game."
Aww.
and gave her a signed ball, so a personalized signed ball. And like then I think he gave her like a jersey and some other stuff. And then he must have, and I don't know if he did or the parents had already bought him. Like got her made sure she had tickets to the next game where she could actually see him play. And she promised him that, or he promised her that he wouldn't get kicked out of that game.
That's awesome. That's really nice.
But I love it when I hear about athletes stepping up like that. Like, I don't know how that news gets back to you sitting in the dugout, because I mean you're in the stadium with 20,000 fans.
If he went into the clubhouse too, he could watch the game on the TV, and they'd probably show that girl repeatedly.
But I mean, how did the TV camera find her? You know, so I don't know. I mean, that part of the story is a little hazy, but I love hearing about, you know, when baseball players do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
That is cool.
So Joey Votto is my hero of the week.
Nice. Awesome. Well, my hero, hopefully I'm not stepping on any of your news stories in the upcoming few minutes here, but I am going to give my hero of the week to Conan O'Brien for 28 wonderful years of late night.
You know, given how much of a Conan fan I am,
yeah,
I don't, because this was his last week on the air.
It was.
On a every night, or you know, a mostly every night basis.
Yeah.
I don't know how that news story just never made it on my list of pop culture things to talk about.
Well, there you go. Now we could inadvertently, this is my way of shoehorning it into the show. That was definitely one of the best hosts of late nights.
When he was after Leno, and doing the show out of New York, oh man, I loved that show. I was in college, like just staying up late intentionally to watch Conan, because you never, and you could tell like if the guest went on Leno and they went on Letterman, they told like the same story.
Yeah.
You know, they had the pre-approved, like, here's the topics we are going to talk about. Here's how this conference. When you went on Conan, it really felt like you never knew what they were going to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the time that he gave Tom Hanks the skeleton of the dog, and said this was the skeleton from your co-star in Turner and Hooch.
Yeah. Yeah. I was always really big fan of the Norm Macdonald interviews.
Yes.
He would just let him go on the rants and it wouldn't stop him. It was awesome.
Well, and like, you know, like I knew that like either Leno or Letterman himself or his, you know, head writer would always go into the dressing room and do like a pre-interview with the guest to kind of feel out the stories. But you could tell with Conan, like they didn't do that. Like they really just, you know, because I mean, Will Ferrell, Seth Rogen,
Mm-hmm.
Like those guys went. You never knew what Will Ferrell was going to do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Who's gonna take over for him?
I think TBS is just done with trying to do late night. Yeah. When I lost cable, I stopped watching it as much because I didn't have access, and so like I missed, But I am very. I mean, now that Conan's going to HBO Max to do, I don't know if it's going to be a weekly or a monthly or like he's going to be doing a variety show on HBO Max. So I will probably start watching that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll be something else we can talk about.
Do you guys listen to his podcast?
I did for a while. I just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, he's a lot. But I think he's really good on that too. Like he's just so fucking quick.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just such a sharp dude, and he can really talk to. I mean, everybody. He's just so good at like making everyone feel like open and welcome and warm. So yeah, good on him.
Yeah.
I would say he will be missed, but he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it sounds like he's dead.
Yeah.
Still being around.
But I remember like Conan was doing stuff with not just with his guests, but like the sketches where like he'd have the one guy the one guy that was like I think he was with the show the entire time. He must have been a writer or a producer or something. And like just that guy was always like the clueless audience member.
Oh yeah.
Or always just I remember one of the more awkward things that I sometimes my mom would stay up late with me and watch Conan, and he had all sorts of like he did like weekly or every so often he would bring out like all these new mascots to try out.
Yeah.
And one of them was Camel Toe Susie or Camel Toe Kathy. And so it was just a woman who had, something shoved in her and she was wearing like yoga pants. And so like it was this massive like cartoonish camel toe, and she's just like dancing on the stage like
Do you
so
remember?
Here I am. So I'm sitting on the couch on one couch, my mom's sitting on the other one. I'm trying not to die laughing because I don't know how she's taking it, but I just remember it being so awkward. But at the same time, really funny.
Yeah. Do you remember the masturbating bear that he would have come out? Yeah. Oh my god.
What is it? The year 2000, the one he did too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They'd wear like those green things around.
Those weird collars.
That they kept doing well after the year 2000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. Do you remember when Andy left Conan for a little while?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to be the guest host, or not guest host. I want to be the co-host. I want to be there. I'll do it. But that was like really kind of early internet, so there was no way to, like, YouTube didn't exist, or definitely we couldn't have podcasted where we could like promote it.
Right. If only.
We did get that 1 or 2 seasons of that great show Andy Richter Controls the Universe, but
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's true.
And then all of that failed, so Andy Richter went back to Conan.
I'm gonna go try this, but if it doesn't work, I'm coming back.
All right, Justin.
All right, is it time for America's Podcast recaps America's Got Talent?
Oh, all right.
But before we get into that, do we want to do an ad break, Jeremy?
Sure. Today's show is sponsored by Seasons of Life Memorials.
Have you recently lost a loved one and want to hold on to their memory forever? Would you like all of the world to be able to view what their life had been about? Seasons of Life Memorials is what you are looking for. We create individual and unique documentary shorts that will allow anyone visiting the gravesite to view the documentary and your memories of the loved one. Contact us today to set up an appointment at seasonsoflifememorials.com.
All right,
Okay.
and we're back.
And we're back. Okay, so I tried to actually make a note on everybody this time, so maybe we'll skip over some people. I don't know, but
I got a confession to make. I only watched half of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
The first half, the second half, or the middle?
The first half. I finished. Okay. I'm at the guy that's about to shoot the arrow. or make someone else fire the arrow or something like that. Does that sound familiar?
So you've seen?
You're almost at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You've seen the one dancer with her hair?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. You're on the last act.
Yeah, you're on the last act. So
Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, I guess I did see almost the whole thing then. All right.
okay. All right. Okay. So it started off with an obvious Kia commercial, which was a little stupid.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Like,
I forgot about that.
uh,
That was so cheesy.
yeah, but they do that every so often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't let her drive my car.
Yeah.
Get out, I'm driving. I'd be like, no, you're not.
No.
Which car is this? You're walking.
The first group was the Shuffle group.
The Illusion.
Yeah. That was okay. I mean, pretty cool.
I wrote that they kind of reminded me of like cheerleaders.
Okay.
Felt like a cheer squad.
Oh, okay. So we're on the same page. I wrote oddly didn't hate it, but I'm not sure I liked it either.
Yeah.
I just put well choreographed. Felt like cheer squad.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a future they have.
I always look at them like, would someone pay money to watch this on a nightly basis? And no, I don't think they would.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
Then we had our second act of the night.
Pam and Casper.
Pam and Casper.
Pam and Casper.
Quinn, my little dog Quinn,
Yeah.
was sleeping next to me, and when Casper started singing, man, she popped up. She was all about. That was her favorite act of the night.
Aw.
Like if she had a golden buzzer to give, she would have given them the golden buzzer. She was all about it.
Nice.
Then after that she went back to sleep and didn't pay attention to the show. So
I just put that as that I don't know. Pam seemed very serious about the whole thing, and it was just kind of comical. Again, not sure they'll go very far in this competition.
yeah, I don't know how far they'll go either. But she is the one act that I jumped on Twitter and tweeted.
Oh, nice.
To see if you can get her on the show.
To see if we can get her on the show.
We just want to speak to the animal.
Bring on Casper.
Pam, you get out of the way. Casper. What's it like?
Get Casper, Quinn, I'll get Lucy. They can just be podcast and Jeremy can host.
There we go.
I figure if we ever actually get one of them to agree, like we'll just do like a quick like Zoom, like a 15, 20 minute, and then just like splice it in. I doubt we're gonna get somebody who really wants to sit.
Oh, I figured, yeah, it'd be like 5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes, yeah.
We're not
so, like,
getting someone for the hour plus.
So if somebody actually responds yes, I'll be like, you just tell us when you're available on an evening. We'll zoom in and we'll just splice it into the episode.
Yeah.
Unless for some reason you want to sit with us and bullshit for
shoot the shit for an hour.
for an hour and a half.
That'd be fantastic. If anyone actually did want to do that.
That would be awesome.
And they get to hear all the stuff that doesn't make it in. Yeah, I thought that it was, for being a novelty act, kind of, she did have a decent singing voice, which was good. That helped.
Yeah, no, that definitely helped. I mean, most of the time, like when she started, I was like, oh, this is going to be cringy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's not going to, but like, I was like, okay, she actually can sing. Like, I mean, probably would, I don't know how many yeses she would have got if she had been out there by herself. But,
True.
She wouldn't have been buzzard.
Right. Yeah. So
I agree.
But yeah, who knows where else? I mean, what can you do with that now? Where else can you go with that? I feel like.
Yeah, I don't. All right, what do we have next? Brooke Simpson, singer. Did you write any notes down on that one?
She was good, but I think I felt like the song wasn't necessarily right for her.
The right choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has good energy, good range, and I think she has a lot of potential.
So
if they find the right music for her,
better music choice, she would have absolutely destroyed. I mean, but yeah, no, I was, I didn't. I think she has a chance potentially, but it's really, I'm just gonna beat a dead horse. It's all about better, better song choices or making the right song choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yoga show,
Roman something or another.
just no, no.
If he would have came out and said something about how he was going to be a contortionist, I think it would have went over better. But he's like, "Oh, I want to do a yoga show. Let me get in this box."
I can think of nothing worse in my life than being shoved into a little box. I don't classify myself as claustrophobic per se, because like I can get in an elevator just fine. Like I don't necessarily, but there's the idea of being put in that small of a container is just nightmarish to me.
I felt like he was going to get a no until he brought up his daughter, and she was crying and talking about this is all I ever wanted to do. And then I was like, "Yep, now he's moving on."
Yeah.
Bring on the sad sap story.
Mm-hmm.
And Simon actually took his buzzer back.
Yeah.
Which is weird, rare, like that doesn't happen very often.
True.
That'll be one of those acts that like when they get to cut down rounds, like that just doesn't show up to cut down rounds and they never discuss it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll be going back through because I assume you're keeping all of these notes. You're not throwing them away.
No, I got every one. They're in my little pop culture journal. Got
Nice.
my Sandler ratings.
The Blake Applebaum.
He was in what I think it might have been the Pam and Casper one. When Terry's talking to him, you can see him in the background.
What?
The one guy who does that weird dance. Keith Applebaum.
Oh, that dude,
Yeah.
Avocary.
Yeah, whatever.
He's in there.
Whenever, Terry's talking to one of them, and you just see him in the background, like staring at the camera, and then he just kind of like walks off screen.
It's weird.
You guys can discuss them more. I just wrote another choir. I am out.
Oh, JW's inspirational singers.
Was this
the
tap dancer?
Yeah, the one with the tap dancer from New York.
Yeah, it's
don't
kind
care.
of boring.
Don't care.
I mean, I put they sounded good.
Yeah.
No.
Not gonna win it, but definitely sounded good.
No, just don't. No, don't care.
All right.
Like I am just out on choirs. I'm sick of them. I'm tired of them. I don't want them to be there. I don't.
I mean, that's kind of, I have that vibe too. It's like anytime a choir comes up there, it might as well just be another commercial at that point.
Right. Yeah. I tune out for 2 minutes, come back, and okay, moving on.
All right. Well, then the next one was Soji the magician.
Oh.
The 9-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. He's good.
I'll
give you for a 9-year-old, he's really good.
Yes.
He just needs to not be 9 anymore.
Yeah, I put good. Definitely a name to keep an eye on.
Right. I think 4 or 5 years, 6 years. Maybe
10
get into
years.
later. Yeah, maybe 10 years.
After he loses interest in magic, when he gets interested in girls.
I mean, if he keeps it up, like he definitely has a real future. But you can tell, like, his stage presence isn't quite there.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't really have a good flow. And then, like,
it was really entertaining. I'm watching, trying to grab Howie's hand.
Oh yeah.
I was
like he isn't versed enough to know that one, A, don't touch Howie, and B, like,
don't touch Howie.
how to like change the act when you don't have something going your way, like how to on the fly, like, because he had it memorized down to how to do it, and then so like it felt a little off, but I mean, kids got talent, no doubt about it.
Definitely. Yeah. Pretty amazed by the quarter thing. I don't know how the fuck he did that.
I don't know how they do any of it.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's real magic.
All right. Then we had the other direction.
funny once, but really, like what are we gonna?
Funny, good stage presence again. They're one of those. I'm not sure they could be a headlining act.
I saw it once. They want to be
The
One
world
Direction, but they're the world's gayest
boy band.
boy band.
I could see them doing like halftime shows and other kind of things like that, but not being like a headlining act anywhere. Just bring them in for.
Well, but once they come out and do that song, because I mean that's probably your opener. Like, where's the comedy from there? Like, now the cat's out of the bag. Although the cat was out of the bag pretty, because as soon as they walked out, I actually looked at Jess and went, "Village People," and I was like, "Oh yeah, no, my oop, honed in on that pretty quick."
Yeah,
that was an obvious one.
Yeah.
What do we have after that? Charlie Lafrato.
Well,
Lafredo?
There was one other thing I did write about that the other direction.
Yeah.
They had that whole story about how they all like came out to each other at like summer camp, and then they promised it, and I was like, none of that happened. None of this. Just like that's the story that you sell, so that you can be like, look at this is no.
Like when that happened, you're like, something smells like BS.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Then you had Charlie Lafredo, the ventriloquist.
I wrote pure awful.
I didn't see this actually.
I put bad, doesn't have talent.
like this was in direct of like where we were talking last week about how they just don't show like the bad acts anymore. They were like, oh, we don't.
They showed a couple on this one, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we don't show bad acts anymore. Huh? We'll show you. Boom. One of the worst ever.
Yeah. Followed up by Josh Blue. I actually knew who that was before. Like when I seen him in the preview, I was like, I know who that is.
As soon as he walked out, I was like, this guy looks familiar. And then he said his name. I'm like, okay, yeah. Should he be allowed on the show?
What? This dude? Oh my God. He's been everywhere.
Right.
He is the winner of, what was that? Last Comic Standing?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got multiple Netflix specials. He's won. Wasn't Last Comic Standing on NBC?
I don't remember that.
Okay. So yeah. So my question, it has nothing to do with who he is. It has everything to do with like, I mean, I guess it does have to do with who he is, but not like, I'm not like, oh, forget him because he's got cerebral palsy. Mm-hmm. I don't care about that. It has everything to do with like, this is a well-established comedian who has sold out or been selling. He doesn't play just the back rooms. Like, he's not the comedian who's in my basement, like, playing to 10 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew who he was when they showed him in the preview, like when they did the, I don't know what you want to call it in the beginning, where they just kind of showed some of the acts.
I mean, Comic Standing.
I was like, hey, that's Josh Blue. I know who that is.
Last Comic Standing has produced some really big names. Some of them not funny. I'm looking at you, Amy. Amy, what's her name? Amy Schumer and Eliza Schlesinger. But
But we're also looking at you, Fluffy. You are hilarious.
Right? Yeah. They also gave us Gabriel Iglesias and Carlos Mencia, or just Gabriel.
I don't know. I never thought Carlos Mencia was funny.
But I mean, they. So it's not like Josh Blue is a nobody.
And he's well established.
Yeah, this is so I don't.
So I didn't see this, but do they actually like pretend they don't know who he is when he gets up there? Like,
yes.
That's kind of crazy because they fucking one of them at least has to know.
You've got to think that Howie Mandel knows who he is.
Yeah.
I could easily see Miss No Sense of Humor not knowing who he is.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that stupid thing. She hasn't
I
done
hate
that in a
that.
while.
She did that a bunch of times this episode.
At the beginning, right? For something.
I
Yeah.
could see
The guy going into the box.
Oh yeah.
I could see Sofia Vergara maybe not knowing who he is. I have a feeling Simon knows who all of these people are, as probably the person who has invited most of them to come audition on the show.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I don't know. Like, it's just like, man, like I would rather, like a couple years ago when Preacher Lawson showed up, like I had never heard of him before. I don't know how many comedy clubs or what he was pulling a night, venue wise, but at least I had never heard of him before. Most of but this guy, like,
yeah, like I knew as soon as I seen his picture, I was like, I looked at Kirsty and I was like, hey, that's Josh Blue.
He might not be selling out the Pfizer, but he's definitely, packing the house at, Riverside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not selling out, but he's definitely, putting butts in seats, So I don't know. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys feel? Should somebody like that be allowed on America's Got Talent? But at the same time, I don't know what the rules are.
Right. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Because, I mean, if the rules don't specifically state, like, you can't have had a career before you show up here, like this is an amateur contest, like what would stop Metallica from showing up and being like, we're going to destroy America's Got Talent. We're going to win it. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's weird how
they walk out on stage and they're like, oh, so who are you guys? Oh, we're a heavy metal band. We just want to share a rock with the country.
Yeah, if like Bo Burnham showed up or Stephen Lynch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or Drew Lynch,
which he did, didn't he?
Right. Well, that's where Drew Lynch got his start.
Yeah, but like came back. Like we all know who you are now.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's really strange. I don't know.
Jeff Foxworthy is like, people haven't talked about me in a while. I'm gonna go on America's Got Talent, get my name back.
They bring back the whole white collar comedy tour. They all four of them come out there. Who are you guys and what are you doing?
I'm ready to laugh today.
I don't know if I could laugh at that. Was that funny?
Mm-hmm. Heidi.
I hate that woman. All right.
Then
we had the two bad acts followed up. The setup for the one good one.
Random singer, not good. I don't know who I don't even know who's he or she anymore. I don't remember.
The first one was I think it was Michael Spencer, really bad singer, and then there was the other 17-year-old where Simon told her to come back in like a year or two.
Oh yeah, I just wrote cringy.
I just put can't sing. Yeah. Which was the setup for the good singer.
Okay. Right, because the one guy was bad and he was like, just please stop, never sing again.
Yeah. And then the girl that he said come back later.
That he was like, oh, you might get better, go home and practice.
Come back in 2 years.
If that's not like, a double standard practice right there. Like,
well, like I don't remember how old the guy was, but the girl's like 17, so the guy was already like in his 30s.
So then
I don't think I'm going to get any better at singing, even if I do practice.
Then we got to Jimmy Harrod, who when he was like, I'm going to sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I'm like, oh God, please.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
Sun will come out tomorrow. Whatever. Whatever god awful song he said he was going to sing. I was right there with Simon. But I was right there with Simon going, yeah, I hate that song. You're right.
Pick a new song.
Pick a new song. Man, he turned that around, didn't he?
Oh yeah, that was a great performance.
Yeah.
He started out really nervous, but he got there.
Yeah. I do think he would be very comfortable hanging out with the other direction.
Well, whatever could you mean by that? That's the final segment, so we'll get to that one.
Jeremy, or is all of this making like you remember?
I'm
most of
sorry, I
this?
really don't. I must have started zoning out around the ventriloquist because none of this is really ringing
Do
a
you
bell.
remember the ventriloquist?
No.
Oh God, it was terrible.
Should I go back and laugh at it? Is it like
It was
bad
Yes,
funny?
yes. No,
Well,
it's
like,
just bad.
Oh, okay.
It did make me think. I believe I said if you've ever been on like America's Got Talent, like we would have you on as a guest just to like talk about the
process,
experience.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to amend that. If you're the worst act that's ever been on there, we don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, that's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, that's don't write in. Don't
Man.
like you don't necessarily have to have gotten through, but just don't be as bad as that guy. You know,
That's true.
I don't necessarily want that guy on this podcast.
Jeez, that's really saying something.
Oh yeah, it was.
So then we got to the last act.
Oh, that
of the night.
the Jimmy Herod
After him
got the golden buzzer from Sophia.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Golden buzzer
I guess.
worthy.
Well, we'll get to that when we do our golden buzzer question. Then we got to Danella
Ben, I think. Unless I heard it wrong.
I mean, I thought she was amazing.
I said she was very intense. It was a good act, but man, it looks painful.
Yeah, it does. So basically, Jeremy, she was an aerialist.
Okay.
But instead of just hanging out on the ring and doing the normal stuff with the silk scarves or flying around in a ring, she tied her hair up in a bun, really tight, and put a carabiner or a ring in the hair.
In her hair.
That's
in
nuts.
the hair. And then had the rope come down and attach just to her hair. And then did the entire aerialist act just
with her hair.
Attached to with her hair, just attached. I mean, she was doing the the complete spins like so fast. You're like, how are you not throwing up?
Yeah,
like doing the dancing. Like she got down in some sort of yoga pose where like she was like like kind of like I don't know what we call it anymore, but when you sit down and you kind of put your feet in front of you.
It's some kind of like lotus or something.
Yeah.
Like
so and then
I don't do yoga.
And then they lifted her up, and she didn't lose the position until she got high enough, and then she started moving. It was
cool.
I would go back and watch that one.
Okay.
Obviously, there's been aerialist on there before, so we've seen similar acts.
Mm-hmm.
But because she was doing it with her hair, it was just different enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
That it was like, okay, all right, this is intriguing.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll check it out.
Then there was the act that you said you were at. So
I thought I was, but maybe it was the commercial break before the ventriloquist, and they were just pimping that act.
So they brought back. I think this was still in seasons that you were watching. You remember a Danger Act a couple years ago? They got to the live rounds, and the man put like a funnel in his mouth, and his wife was up on a stairs, and she was going to shoot a crossbow into his mouth.
Yeah.
While it was on fire, and she missed, and it hit his throat.
Mm-hmm. I think
they brought that act. And then I think they've come back like once since then.
They were on something else where they were grossing him out with Howie on stage. They were like shooting milk out their eye or something that.
Yeah, they'd come back before. Yeah. So Simon brings them back out for a third time and makes the other three judges think that like he's actually brought them back to give them a shot. And they do a couple cool trick shots. And then they bring Sophia and Simon up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
To be part of the show. And then they go, okay, Sophia, you're going to put a blindfold on and we're going to have you shoot the crossbow at Simon.
To pop a balloon. Yeah.
To pop a balloon above Simon's head. So as soon as they put the blindfold on Sophia, the lady grabs the bolt out of the crossbow and then they put a fake bolt in his stomach. Have him lay on the ground. And they bring a bunch of people out on, and set everything up. And they're like, okay, Sophia, remember, as soon as I say fire, you have to pull the trigger. Because now, did either of you watch last year or yeah, because last year was her first year.
No, I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
She had a real problem. They kept pulling her up there for danger acts, and she had a real problem following direction of actually like pulling the trigger when she was supposed to, because she would get all scared. And they're like, you have to pull it when you're told. It's very important for the safety of this act, for the timing. If you don't do it right, it'll hurt somebody. So she pulls it, which obviously shoots nothing because there's not even a fake bolt in the gun.
And
then they yell,
just makes that noise.
Oh, they just yell, "Oh my God!" And she rips her blindfold off and sees Simon laying on the ground with a bolt in his chest.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then she shoved that one lady.
She shoves the lady, and then the guy drops down to his knees and like, get the medic, go. Oh wait, Simon's saying, Sophia, Simon wants to say something to you. Get over here real quick. You got it. And she comes over, and when she comes over, he just goes, I got you. And he stood up.
That's funny. Nice.
So,
that's pretty cool. So were they actually like an act, or was it all just for?
I think it was just for fun.
I think it was just. I think I wrote down prank, so I don't think they're going on. I think it was just this one-time thing.
Gotcha.
I think because I think they got brought back to the champions. So I think once you make it, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming at some point you can only make it through so many times before they let you come back,
right?
Or before they stop letting you come back for stuff like that. So.
We need to see if we get our hands on an official like handbook for this. If there's one floating around out there.
The AGT rule guide.
Yeah. It seems like there's a lot of loosey-goosey stuff going on.
There does seem some. So I guess it's going to be a little harder to answer this question.
Yeah.
For one of us, but I mean the question that we end all of our AGT segments with.
Who is your golden buzzer?
Who is your golden buzzer? For me,
all right.
It's going to end the streak. But I think I would have given the golden buzzer to Danella, the aerialist.
All right.
Okay.
I'll write that down here, so I got it. Oh man, I don't know who I would have given it to. I don't know. I kind of want to lean towards Josh, but I already know who he was as a comedian. So he was already established, so I don't think he should get the golden buzzer. Like, we don't know if he should even be on the show.
Right. That's why I didn't give him the golden buzzer. I mean, obviously he was hilarious.
Yeah, so are we not including him, or can I just take a cop out?
I mean, if that's your golden buzzer, that's your golden buzzer. That's
all right. That's where I'm going with my golden buzzer.
I mean, until we get a rule book from AGT, we get to make we get to make our own rules here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what their rules are.
Definitely.
That's where I'm going.
Well, I think I should maybe abstain this week from voting since I didn't see enough of it. But from what I did see, I guess, just to keep my streak alive, I'll give it to the 9-year-old magician.
I was just saying, do you want to rewatch it and let us know at the start of next week's episode?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Or even off.
Yeah.
Or even off pod, and I can write it down in the book.
I'll do that. I'll get back to you.
All right.
I was working on a pretty big thing, so I kind of zoned out while it was on.
It's fair.
And missed it. Sorry. I watched Loki though.
I still haven't finished week 2 yet. So
okay.
Oh, good. I'm not the only one. I was hoping we wouldn't bring that up.
Maybe when the whole thing is over, we could do a whole series recap.
Okay. Yeah, to say this week was kind of weird. So I'm honestly surprised I got it. I almost had to text you guys before we started to be like, I didn't even watch AGT because like we started it kind of late last night and then we finished it this morning. So
I watched it this afternoon.
I was watching it when like 2 hours ago.
Well, good. We all did it today.
Yeah.
We all procrastinated.
Well, yeah. At least
I was like, that's the one thing I got to get done.
Well, at some point on Saturday, I was like, because she told me she was going out today to meet up with her cousin, and I was like, I gotta watch AGT by myself then. Like so we found time to fit it in. But
Nice.
all right, well, if you are a ventriloquist who has no idea how to actually make a ventriloquist dummy talk, or you really feel the need to be a not and I qualify this by I'm talking about this gentleman only, be a horrible cross-dresser, at the same time of being a really bad ventriloquist.
Yeah, at least do one good.
Yeah.
If you if you want to try to sneak in a Kia commercial in a show without actually paying for, well, I'm sure they paid for it, but without actually calling it a commercial, you didn't fool anybody. We caught you.
Yeah.
Smart for that.
Just remember that stupid never walks alone.